Houston Texans just got great news. They seemingly out of the blue have re-signed Nico Collins. And I think the reason I say out of the blue on this one is they bring in Diggs, they have other weapons, and there really wasn't a lot of Nico Collins conversation. There just wasn't a lot of Nico Collins conversation. You knew he was in the final year of his contract. He was going to be kind of making not a lot of money this year, which is great for the team, but he was in the final year, and it's like, are they going to get a contract done before the beginning of the year, or are they going to wait and see? And what they've decided is that Nico Collins is a truly good player, and so what they want to do with him is simply keep him. They want to keep him, and they want to keep him for a long time. So they're going to have him for the next 4 years, and I will allow an article to do this, some of the work for us here. Texans announce extension with wide receiver Nico Collins. Texans announced Wednesday that they've agreed to terms on a 3-year extension with a maximum of $75 million with the third-year pro. Collins, who will earn $52 million in guaranteed money, will now be under contract through the 2027 season. A deal was expected to get done, all right, and he proves he's a legitimate number one target for Rookie of the Year, C.J. Stroud. Now, let's talk about Nico Collins. I've got kind of a man crush on this guy. You see the U of M jersey right there. Now, if you don't know what we do here on this channel, hey, we're from Michigan, but we love the NFL. Big Wolverines fans in the college ranks, but love the NFL and love teams that the national media seems to ignore. We get it as Lions people, and so we thought the Texans would be great. So about a year ago, we started this channel talking about the Texans and a couple of other teams because we thought the Texans had the ability to be really good for a really long time. And we thought it would be a fun team to cover. And, man, they sped up that process really, really well. So here's what I want to do in this video. I want to get into the contract itself, talk to you about where it is, where it ranks among the league, and then I want to talk about Nico Collins. Because if you have some hesitations on what kind of a receiver he is, how good of a receiver he is, I want to put those at ease. I want to put those to rest because I think this guy is not only good, I think he's really good. I think he's Mike Evans, except just a little bit taller and even a little bit more athletic, which is hard to imagine. And when you see him at his size and all of that kind of stuff, you wouldn't think that necessarily to be true. So first, let's talk about the contract. Let's get into the specifics. Spotrac has, whether it's been fully released or not, they have the specifics on what we know. All right. So there's a couple ways contracts works. First, you have your total amount up to $75 million. Then I believe there's the amount that it actually is, which is a 3-year $72.75 million contract. Then you have the guaranteed money, which is at $52 million. That guaranteed money you can't get out of. That's it. You're going to pay him that one way or another. Like, it's happening. So first you have the signing bonus, which can be spread over the years. Then you have dead cap. So how much would it cost you to get out of it? And when you look at this, you see this year he's making $6.6 million. All right. Then next year he's at 18, then 24, then 26. I know some of you are like, that seems like a lot of money. I'm here to tell you, for a wide receiver, it's not. By the end of this contract, he is going to be a not what seems to be a ridiculously high contract player. He barely cracks the top 10 now in contract value, overall contract value for wide receivers in the league. And this is for a guy who is the PFF rated number 3 wide receiver in the league last year. So you can sit here, you can say whatever you want. The contract is a good deal, if you ask me. When you compare it to other players in the league, when you look at total value of contract, all right, he is right here at number 10. That's why I said barely cracks the top 10. By the way, the guys that are sandwiching around him are Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, and Michael Pittman Jr. and Terry McLaurin. These are guys that are kind of within that $5 million range, one way or the other, all on 3 or 4 year deals. Who would you rather have in that list? Ridley right here, all the way to McLaurin. I'm telling you right now, if you lined up all those receivers to me and said, here's your number one for the next 4 years, I will choose Nico Collins. I will choose him every single time. Every once in a while, you might get me to choose a Devontae Smith or something like that, but Nico Collins is 25. He's got the body to be able to win on the outside and on the, if he has to play on the inside, he has the athleticism and he has the chops to do whatever you need him to do, and a body that's built to last in the NFL. These are good things. All right. I would rather have him. If you told me you get him for one season, this upcoming season, of all these wide receivers, I'm still choosing Nico Collins. I am, because he's better. Look at who he is. This is a guy last year that had 80 receptions on 109 targets, 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns with a rookie quarterback. Sure, it was a good rookie quarterback, but that's a ridiculous season. Overall PFF grade was number 3 amongst wide receivers, and the passer rating when targeted was 129.6. Are you kidding me? And you got to see him really go off when Tank was hurt later in the year, and it was just like, yep, that's fine. We'll just throw more targets at Nico. No problem. All right, we can do that, and I don't have a problem with it. All right, there was some injury stuff, but this is a guy who was never targeted more than 12 times. He was only targeted more times, more than double digits, in 3 games. Game 1 of the year, he was targeted 11 times. That was against Baltimore, turned it into 80 yards. 11 times against Arizona, turned it into 65. 12 times against Denver, turned it into 191 yards and a touchdown. This is a guy who had 109 targets and turned it into 1,300 yards. That's an insane amount of yards per target last year. And you can sit here and say, well, okay, but it's kind of unproven. I mean, his first 2 years in the NFL, he had 446 and 481. Yeah, because he had 59 and 64 targets because he was often hurt in the first couple years. All right, but when he was playing and he was healthy, he was already grading out as a starting caliber wide receiver, low number 1, high number 2. And then when he proved he could stay healthy, when he got a new team in here to make sure his body stayed healthy, he was phenomenal, undisputed, top 10 all year, and by the end of the year, top 5 wide receiver in the league. Like, what he was doing was absolutely crazy. I think about the final game of the regular season. Honestly, the final 2 games. Let me give them to you. Against the Tennessee Titans, 7 catches on 8 targets for 80 yards. All right, that's efficiency. The next one is insane. What he did against the Colts. 9 targets, 9 catches, 195 yards, and a touchdown. Wow. These are the kind of games that he's able to put together. Think about the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 9 targets, 7 catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is legit number 1 receiver. So here's the question. How good of an athlete is he? Like, people always wonder, like, you see him on the floor, he kind of seems like, or on the field, he kind of seems like he's lumbering, things like that. Not so fast, my friends. This is one of the highest graded wide receivers ever. He's a top 100 athlete out of all receivers ever tested at a 9.76 RAS, and there's no areas where he's not good. All right? He's good in the agility grade, but he's great to elite in everything else, whether it's height and size, whether it's explosion, whether it's just straight speed. He is there. He came from a program in Michigan that did not throw the ball a lot, so it was going to take him a little while to get used to it. Now that he is, and now that he finally has a quarterback that is a phenomenal quarterback, this could be a scary, scary combo for many years to come. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, thank you so much on 15,000 subs. We're so happy to be spending that with you, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.